right, let's do a language warm-up. I want the girls to give me a singular noun. All right, boys, I want you to give me a plural noun. Girls, your turn to do a plural noun. And boys, a singular noun. All right, girls, give me a compound noun. So this is a compound means two words in one noun. Okay, so it could be one word. It could be two words put into one word, or it could be two words like in a name, like Grand Canyon. Okay, so give me a compound noun. Boys, you give me a compound noun. Okay, wish I could hear your answers. Girls, give me a common noun. Boys, give me a proper noun. Now, what should the proper nouns have at the beginning? A capital letter. Very good. All right, another warm-up, and I don't have my board on the wall, so I wrote it on notebook paper. We're going to mark these sentences and then diagram them. Yay! Diagramming is fun. I like diagramming. All right, so we're just going to diagram subjects and verbs. We're not going to get into all the other words, which you will later in high school. You'll be able to diagram this whole sentence. All right, storks and herons fly the same way. Okay, so storks and herons is my subject, so I'm going to divide my sentence here. So let's do our verb first. So fly, storks, herons. So I have two subjects, one verb. So I'm going to diagram like this. Okay, storks, herons. And what do? They fly. Okay, so did I do that right? Okay, next one. The bird's necks and feet are extended. Okay, so how are we going to divide that? Well, birds' necks and feet, divide, this is our subject, and the rest of it is our predicate. Okay, so we have our verb is are extended. Don't forget your helping verb. Are extended. What are extended? Necks and feet. Okay, so here I have, again, two subjects and one verb. Now it's a compound verb. It's two words. Okay, but it's still just one verb. So necks, feet, and this is hard to write like this, are extended. And this is very sloppy. Okay, am I right? Necks, feet are extended. Okay, next one. Storks soar and ride on warm air currents. Okay, so where am I going to divide my sentence? After storks, what's the verb? Soar, ride. Who or what soars and rides? The storks. Okay, so I have one subject, two verbs. So this time we're going to just flip it because I only have one subject, but then since I have two verbs, I'm going to draw this over on this side. Okay, so storks, soar, ride. Okay, is that right? This one, ooh, here's a good one. Look at this picture of a stork's nest. Now, what kind of a sentence is that? Okay, it's a command, right? So it's imperative. So what's always your subject of an imperative sentence? You. Okay, so we have an understood you that we're going to write up here. That's our subject. Okay, and then our you, what's the verb? What are you going to do? You're going to look. Okay, so you is your subject, look is your verb. Okay, now we can't really divide this sentence because you would divide it after your subject, but since our subject isn't technically written, we can't divide it. Okay, but we do write it up here and put parentheses around it. Okay, feel like, sorry, I have a lamp on, so it's kind of making it a little blurry. So we would diagram it like this. You is our subject, but it's an understood you. It's not actually written, so we put it in parentheses. You look. Okay, that's how you would diagram an imperative sentence. So the last sentence I have to review is, can you find a Bible verse about storks? Now, what kind of a sentence is this? This is asking a question, so it's interrogative. So think of it like, switch the words around so it's a declarative sentence. So you can find a Bible verse about storks. That's how we're going to diagram it, okay? So you can find, you is your subject, can find. And we can't divide our sentence there either because our verb is split with our subject. Okay, so we just have one subject, you can find. You can find. All right. Now, open your language book to page 79. And we're going to do some diagramming on this page, but we're also going to see whether things are written correctly. Okay, so on page 79, it says, for think A, in the blank, write the letter of the column with correct capitalization and punctuation. If the correct sentence is not here, write NH for not here. All right, so they each have the same phrases, but only one of them is correct. Or if they're not correct, if neither of them are, then it's not here. So number 1, I read the book Charlotte's Web. Is it written correctly under column A or column B? Your answer should be B, because a title of a book is underlined. So B is your answer for number 1. Number 2, say the poem Window Boxes. Which is correct, A or B? The answer is A, because a poem is in quotation marks, excuse me. Okay. Remember, the bigger works of art and writing, they're the ones underlined. The smaller ones, like poems, chapters, songs, they have quotation marks. Okay. Number 3, the Titanic sank in 1912. The answer is B, because why? Because a ship is underlined. The name of a ship, an airplane, a train, those names are underlined. Okay. Number 4, let's sing Amazing Grace. What do you think? Are you tricked? The answer is actually not here. So the answer is NH, because we would normally put quotation marks around the title of a song, but what's wrong with how it's written here? Grace is not capitalized, and it needed to be. So Amazing Grace is the title, so it needs capital. Number 5, our winter break starts on Monday. So the answer is A, because winter is a season, you do not capitalize it. Number 6, Tia went to Canton, Ohio last week. All right, the answer is B, because when you have a city and state in the middle of your sentence, you have to put a comma between the city and the state and after the state. Number 7, James and I are best friends. The answer is not here. You know why? Because the first one, I, is not capitalized, and in B, they capitalize best friends, but those are not proper nouns. So not here. Number 8, he saw Dr. L. Barber yesterday. The answer is A, because Dr. and L are abbreviations, so they need a period after them. Number 9, I went to Grandma's for Christmas. Okay, the answer is not here, okay? Because under A, Christmas, Grandma's and Christmas is not capitalized, and then in B, Grandma's is not capitalized. Okay, and those are proper nouns. All right, think B. So we're going to be diagramming. Mark the sentence and then diagram each subject and verb. Number 1, my sister finished her homework and began her new book. Make sure when you're reading a sentence, you read the whole entire sentence because there may be more than one verb further along in the sentence. Okay, don't just stop at your first verb and say, oh, there's a verb. That must be it. Keep reading. There might be one towards the end of the sentence. So you'll see here, we would divide our sentence after sister. And then what is your verb? Okay, now here you have 2 verbs. Finished, so underline that twice, and began. Began as a verb. So who or what began and finished? Sister. So sister is your subject. So underline sister once. All right, so we have 1 subject, 2 verbs. Okay, so I'm going to draw your diagram and you can fill it in. Okay, so, okay, 1 subject, 2 verbs. So draw that next to there and fill in your blanks. So sister should go here, finished, began. Number 2, Brianna could hardly put the exciting book down. All right, so we're going to divide after the subject, so after Brianna, and then the rest of the sentence is called your predicate. And then what is your verb? This has a helping verb, could put. Now, hardly is describing the verb. It's not part of the verb. It's just describing it. So could put is your verb, and then Brianna is your subject. Okay, so here we have just 1 subject, 1 verb. Okay, so Brianna could put. All right, think C. Circle the correct word in parentheses. So remember, their, T-H-E-I-R, is possessive. So their book, their toy, their pencil. T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E is a contraction for they are. So if you're able to say they are, then that's what you would put in that blank. And then T-H-E-R-E is showing position. So over there, 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 there. Okay. So number 1, there is enough room for your backpack in the trunk. So it's the first there, it's showing location. So T-H-E-R-E. And then your backpack. Your it's showing possession. It's whose backpack? It's your backpack. So Y-O-U-R. You wouldn't say you are backpack. So you know that's wrong. You can always do a little test, okay? Test it out. Does the contraction make sense? If it doesn't, then it's not right. Number 2. You're not going to believe this, but it's snowing in Florida. Okay, so can we say you are not going to believe this? Yes, so circle the contraction. And it's snowing in Florida. Can we say it is snowing in Florida? Yes, so that as well is a contraction. It's, I-T apostrophe S. Number 3, I saw their dog chasing its tail. Okay, so both of those are possessive because it's saying their dog, its tail. So we would use the THEIR and then the ITS. We would not use the IT apostrophe S because we wouldn't say dog chasing it is tail. That doesn't make sense. Number 4, they're repaving your street next month. So let's just do the test. Can we say they are repaving? Yes, they are repaving. So circle the contraction there, and then it's saying your street. So your is possessive. So circle Y-O-U-R. We wouldn't say you are street. All right, for think D, we're going to draw a line between the subject and predicate parts of the sentence. And then we're going to underline the subject once and underline the correct verb or contraction in parentheses twice. Number 1, Austin has or have never visited Mount Rushmore. Okay, so we divide between subject and predicate. So divide after Austin. And then the verb, is it has visited or have visited? It would be has visited. The reason being is because Austin is your subject and Austin is one person. He's singular. So you would say Austin has visited. Number 2, Erica and Taylor sing in the 4th grade choir. I wish we had choir. Okay, so we're going to divide after Taylor because that divides our subject and predicate. Now, let's jump and do our subject. Erica and Taylor are our subjects, and there's 2 of them, so we need to have a plural verb. So we would say sing. Remember, it's the opposite. Plural verbs do not have an S. Singular verbs do have an S. So it's kind of the opposite of nouns because singular nouns do not have an S, but plural nouns do. Okay, just think, okay, subject and verb, they can't both have an S. So only one of them can have an S. Number 3, William likes sour candies. Okay, so divide after William. And William is your subject, and he's one person, so it's singular. So we would say likes. William likes. Number 4, your report cards are on my desk, class. I wish they were, but they're not. I need to do them. Divide after cards. And cards is your subject. Cards is plural because it has an S. Remember, they can't both have an S. So our plural verb is are. Cards are. Number 5, Madison's mom taked the children to the park. So divide after mom. And then mom is your subject. Mom is your subject. Mom is one person. So we need a singular verb. So that would be took. Mom took. Okay? Taked is not a word. All right. So I believe you also have a quiz to take today, which is open book. So you can look back through your pages. That's why I don't want you to tear your pages out of your book. That way you can look back and use them to help you if you have a question about subject verbs, plurals, singular, anything like that. Okay? So go to it.